Morning, everybody. We are going to go ahead and start on the 347 swap. I just pulled the radiator, got that drained, but last time I ran the car, looks like there's a little oil leak from the back, so it's time to pull this thing out and get started. We don't have a test and tune until April 22nd, so over a month away, so figure it's a perfect time to go ahead and get this done. I plan on getting, we'll have this out today. Again, it's the only thing I've done so far is got the radiator out, but I'm going to jack up the car and undo the exhaust, the starter, alternator, all of that stuff around there. I'll pull the upper off real quick, pull the distributor out, and we'll take the little breather system off, and we'll go from there. I'll try to put this on a time lapse. This new camera does that, and we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks. Working on getting the engine out of here. I've got just dropped the exhaust. Two more things to do underneath is I'm going to disconnect the alternator because it's a low mount. It's easier to do that underneath the car. And then I've got to do take the starter out real quick. And then I'll take the 4 bolts out of the engine mounts. And I think we'll just about be ready. I'll pull the bolts off of the flywheel. Or not the flywheel, excuse me, bell housing. And we'll go from there. All right, guys, well, the 302 is out. 347 will be going in. Here's what we got today. I got the heads out. I'm going to check these, make sure that cleaned up the chambers a little bit, but I'm going to make sure we don't have any leaks there on any of the valve seats, so I'll be filling those up with water. Excuse me. And here's our TFS R and distributor. Everything's out over here. And 302 is out. Heads are off. So I made some pretty good progress today. Didn't take long, a couple hours. And here's the 86 block. So the short block. And we will be putting in the 347. Over here, the nice Moroso pan, Wiseco pistons. So that'll be going in as soon as I check and clean up these twisted wedges. These are the big dog stage 240 twisted wedge heads. There's the intake runners there. I was getting a little oil in the runner there, even though you could feel here. You could feel where a little oil was getting up underneath the gasket. So I may have to do something different besides those. And that was the Felpro 1262. For whatever reason, doesn't want to seal up on there too well. So I'll see. I'll do a little research, see what's on Summit for a different intake gasket that's going to seal up good for us. And we'll clean these up. I may run them into the machine shop, and of course we'll just check these and make sure all the valves are nothing's leaking there. So I'll be filling these ports tonight with some water, and that's what the blue towels here. We'll see if anything drips out onto the towel. You know, obviously we should be able to see if it drips. There'll be a little water pooled up right here on the intake side, and then tomorrow we'll flip them over, and then we'll fill up the exhaust ports and see if anything's leaking there. But the only thing I saw again on teardown was there was a little bit of oil in the runners there. But here's all the spark plugs look good. Here's all the spark plugs. They all look very similar. So nothing was. They all look about the same. So that's good. And these are Autolite. These are 3923s. These are gapped at like 30 thousandths for when we were trying to test nitrous on the 302. So I may clean these up, throw them back in there. I do have a fresh set of 3924s, which I'll probably go ahead and start with a fresh set of 3924s until we're ready to test nitrous on the 347. But just to dial in the tune, I'll put 3924s capped at like 55. And then BBK Longtubes. I'm going to get in there, clean up the bell housing, and I may drop the trans out from the bottom of the car, put them in together. Might be a little easier that way than trying to get it on the mounts and then get the input shaft lined up. But I want to get in there, clean out inside of the bell housing. I was oil pan was leaking on the back, so that's what you'll see here. There's some oil in the bottom of the bell housing there, and that was we replaced that rear main seal. That wasn't leaking, but the gasket, the oil pan gasket was. So that was you can see I moved the car back so I had room for the engine stand up here, or the engine hoist. So when I had it forward, you can see the little bit of oil that was dripped out from our last day at the track in the back of the oil pan there. So that is the update. I'm going to start on the 347 here. I've got 1 month until test and tune, so we want to get this in here and get a tune in it. We're going to have to redo our tune. That's going to have the trick flow stage 3 cam, a 347 at about 10.7 to 1, with these ported trick flow heads. Cam, the TFS Box R. It'll have the 90mm Accufab throttle body and a 4-inch intake, which is over here. We'll have the 90mm mass air, 90mm throttle body, and here is our intake tube. Sorry guys. Anyway, here's the 4-inch intake. I've already drilled it for the nitrous. Fresh set of 3924s. Got some short exhaust if we want to run that. That's what I had been running at the track. A lot lighter. I put the X pipe back on to see if I think you can see it down here. Got there's the X pipe and the mufflers, and that does have catalytic converters on it. But I put that back on there to see if that affected the wideband readings, and it was still erratic. So it wasn't because of the short exhaust. I don't know. It could have been a little of the oil going up in the intake, but again, all the plugs look pretty equal, so nothing looks real dirty here. So we'll clean these up, and then again, I'm going to check them, see if they leak. Do the intakes tonight. We'll flip them over and do the exhaust ports tomorrow, see if we got any leaks. If those are all looking good, then I think I'm just going to clean them up. Otherwise, if they need to be lapped in, or maybe freshen up the valve job, I'll take them over to the machine shop and have them do it. Alright guys, that's the update. 347 is going in. Have a good night.